Welcome back. For this deep dive, we're tackling something pretty fascinating.
Yeah, it's a devotional source, but it reads, well, almost like a corporate growth plan.
Exactly. It's this interesting paradox. So our mission today is to unpack how this source, Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris, uses that really powerful biblical metaphor,
Hmm.
the large-scale catch.
From Matthew 13, right? The kingdom of heaven likened to a fishing net.
Right, the net that gathers fish of every kind. And this source translates that spiritual idea into, well, very concrete, measurable strategy.
It really does. Straight off the bat, it lays out two very distinct ways of doing outreach, or what it calls soul winning.
Okay.
The first is what you'd expect, maybe, very personal, relational. And the second, that's the large-scale catch. Much more like a big campaign, target-driven.
Okay, let's break those down a bit. So personal evangelism, the source describes it as that really intense one-on-one connection.
Yeah, exactly. High touch, very individualized. Talks about a relentless pursuit, until souls are fully won and established. Deep investment.
Right. And then you contrast that with the large-scale catch.
Totally different focus. It's defined by mass efforts. Think big crusades, outreach programs. The goal is explicitly about hauling, and that's the word they use, hauling sinners en masse into the kingdom.
En masse. Wow. That's really about volume, isn't it?
Completely. It connects it right back to that net metaphor. The net goes into the sea of humanity, drawing in people from, well, everywhere, every walk of life.
I can already see a tension there. If you're focused on that deep personal work, how does that square with the big push for just, maximum numbers? It seems contradictory.
But that's where the source gets quite strategic, you could say. It uses the next verse in Matthew, verse 48.
Okay, what does it say?
It describes what happens after the net is full, it's drawn to shore, and then there's a sorting.
Sorting.
Yeah. The good fish go into vessels, the bad are cast away. The implication is, look, the mass action is just step one, the gathering.
And the sorting, or maybe discipleship later, that's step two.
It's exactly. Volume first, then filter. That seems to be the logic.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting, especially if you're thinking about scaling any kind of goal. It moves past metaphor into actual organizational planning.
It really does. It uses terms like strategic missions.
And it talks about different groups needing to work together.
Very explicitly. Fellowship groups, churches, even larger zones and ministries. The instruction is to plan and act together for mass action.
So it's like pooling resources for a bigger impact, almost like a coordinated campaign.
Precisely. It sees the need for collective effort. You can't achieve massive scale working in silos, right?
And maybe the most surprising part for me, reading this as a devotional text.
The numbers.
Yeah, the specific numerical targets, it actually tells readers to set goals.
Clear KPIs, yeah. Reaching 100,000, 10,000. It even says maybe 1 million people at once.
1 million. That fundamentally changes things. It's not just hoping for growth, it's planning for it.
Yeah.
Proactive mission execution.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And think about what setting a target like, say, 1 million people does organizationally.
It forces alignment. You have to sort out logistics, resources.
Get everyone pulling in the same direction, yeah. The mindset it promotes is this idea of partnership with God.
Yeah.
It argues that anything born of him prevails, multiplies, and blossoms.
So the strategies for success are sort of guaranteed.
That's the underlying belief. Success is achievable because, as the scripture says, the harvest is plenty. It justifies the massive ambition.
So wrapping this up, what we're seeing here is this blend. This source takes a spiritual command
And combines it with, frankly, high-level organizational strategy, using that fishing net idea as a blueprint.
a blueprint for strategic cooperation, setting goals, measuring results. It insists vision has to become action, measurable action.
Which leaves us with a pretty important question for you listening.
Yeah.
This source suggests that sometimes, to achieve massive scale, you might need to prioritize volume over that initial intimacy. So whatever your goals are, maybe in business, maybe in your community, maybe just a big project, what principles of organized strategic effort could you use to go beyond just the one-on-one?
And maybe just as crucial, if you do cast that wide net and it comes back full, what's your process? What are your criteria for that necessary sorting that has to happen afterwards? Something to think about.
For more information on how you can grow spiritually using Rhapsody of Realities, please visit our website, www.rhapsodyofrealities.org, or you can also visit rin.rhapsodyofrealities.org/salvation. Thank you.